Hello, Des John here, drinking beer once again, and I'm feeling really kind of sick because I've been eating lots of leftover sweets from yesterday, Halloween, and yeah, you shouldn't eat a shit ton of sweets when you're diabetic. You shouldn't really drink alcohol, but hey, sweets and alcohol probably not good. Anyway, we are back. With Scottish beer. Aye, laddie, the land of my fathers and mothers. And yeah, weirdly, this isn't really by a brewery, it's by these guys, Crisp Maltings. But if you look, they're in Aloha, hello. And strangely enough, Liam Brothers is based there too. And there is another couple of breweries, and there is distilleries in Alloa too, all connected together. So I would be very surprised if this is not one of those breweries. But, and I put the thing away because there's no other information in the magazine, which is a shame. But this is the beer we're going to have today. It's Crisp Maltings, 100% Scottish malt. And this is called the Workhorse Scottish Pale Ale. Is that a thing? I don't know. And weirdly, we've got a collaboration between Crisp, who are Scottish, obviously, and Beer 52, who are also Scottish. Let's have a look down here. Here we go. I knew it. Brewed and canned for Beer 52 by William Brothers, FK10. FK is Falkirk, but Alloa, or Aloha, I know it's Alloa, but you know, anyway, they're on the other side of the water, which is kind of weird. Right, Workhorse Scottish Pale Ale with every sip. This modern golden ale, so it's a golden ale now, showcases Crisp's Scottish Pale Ale malt. So that's why it's called Scottish Pale Ale. Cara and Vienna malts add sweetness and a touch of toffee. Oh, I don't need more toffee. Jester is the hops in this bad boy, providing hints of tropical fruit, grapefruit, blackcurrant perhaps. Clear and golden hued. And this ale has a crisp mouthfeel. Sorry, came across a bit funny there. With the old Scotsman, hi. And although I wasn't born in Scotland, you know. I am at heart a Scotsman. Weird. Some of you may disagree, and that's fine, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. My mum is full on Scottish. And my dad, his mum was Scottish and his father was African. So I am by heritage 3/4 Scottish and 1/4 African. So bizarrely enough, and I was born in England, so you'll have to forgive me, dear viewer, especially if you're Scottish. And I know Don's beer reviews watched my review the other day. So hey Don, how you going, man? You might disagree that I have any Scots in me at all, but get to fuck you. That's what I'm gonna say. Right, there we go. Let's get a nice thingy. Nice picture. As you know how we do it. Well, you should do by now. So this is a Scottish Pale Ale, which is a golden ale made with Scottish Pale Ale malt. Just crazy. Looks a bit lagery, but you know, Pale Ale could be. Look at that, superbly clear. Nice carbonation as well. You can see the bubbles rising up. Rising up, back on your feet. We have got half a finger's head, maybe 3/4 if you're being very kind. Lovely fluffy white head on there, but it is kind of a bit lagery looking. Maybe one shade paler than a lager. Sorry, darker than a colour. And they've called it a golden ale. We shall see. Oh, what is the ABV on this bad boy? I probably showed you, and I didn't write it down. I didn't knock it at all. It's 4% on the ABV, which is good. It does have a bit of sweetness to it, but then often pale ales do if they're using proper gnarly malts, not just a two-row or just a real basic malt. Crisp, I have used in my brews too, crisp maltings. They're very good, although they don't seem to be as available as they used to be. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I was really thinking of trying to get hold of the heritage malts like the Plumage Archer or Plume Archer and the Chevalier malt. Oh, lovely. Bit more gnarly than what's in this bad boy, but they were growing some really, really interesting malts. And they're really difficult to get hold of now. Don't know. Maybe that's because lots of breweries are taking them up, like William Brothers. But I'm not surprised because they're obviously in the same town. That's got to be worth that bullshit has got to be worth a like. Why don't you click it now? Cheers and beers. Let's see what we get with this one. Oh, wow. Oh, God. Got a bit of a hiccup there. That was weird. Yeah, I was going to say, really nice bitterness, like a lager bitterness, but quite a sharp, dry bitterness. Maybe that's because I've been eating sweets all afternoon. Having something dry has really shot through. It's like, oh my God, ooh, pardon me, dear viewer. It is like that Strongbow advert. Do you remember that, where you're drinking Strongbow and then an archer shoots arrows into the table next to your cider, and they say, "Oh, it's really sharp." Um, that's what I'm getting from this. I am getting a little bit of kind of lemoniness, if that's a word. I've been having a few. Obviously, I had some time off because of my infections. Don't trust the NHS, dear viewer, and subsequent reliance on antibiotics, which means I couldn't drink, which is why I haven't done so many beer reviews. I was good. I didn't drink for a whole week. It's just nuts. But yeah, interesting how your sense of taste, which is linked to your smell, um, reacts to things. Maybe it's because I haven't drunk. Maybe that's why I'm picking up that kind of zestiness, that kind of pith. They're saying grapefruit. I wouldn't go that far. I'd probably go more on the sort of lemony, kind of limey side. But I know what they mean. It's this zesty kind of thing, and that's coming from Jester. Um, Jester from Leicester. That's what was that snooker player that was called? That Jester from Leicester. Mark, is it Mark Selby? I don't know. Anyway, cheers to you, Mark. If you're, God knows why you'd be watching this, but maybe. Come on. Oh, wow. Oh, another bit of a hiccup there. My God, I wonder if it is the sweets that's done that. Remind me, dear viewer, don't let me eat sweets and drink beer together because it causes me to hiccup. Um, I'm liking the lacing as well because I've been drinking lagers so much lately. I've kind of been missing the lacing on a glass, and something to do perhaps with the lagering process, especially if you do it properly. Um, you don't tend to get lacing on lagers. Maybe it's because a lot of lagers that you have these days are macros, but the ones I have been drinking, not necessarily so. But I'm wondering if there's something about the lagering process that doesn't keep the head sticking to the side of your glass. And in this case, a pale ale or perhaps a golden ale, although it's not quite strong enough, I don't think, to be a golden ale. Um, the return of the suds on the side of the glass, it makes me happy, dear viewer. And I haven't really been happy of late. Um, Lots of things going wrong, unfortunately. But beer is not one of them. Whenever I get sad and lonely, beer helps me out. My little pick me up. And as you well know, I don't go crazy on the beer, or not often. I just like having a beer after work, like today. That's why I've got my shirt on, um, sit back, put my feet up, drink a beer. Life is good. The other thing I was going to say was I've been invited, for those of you that follow my channel regularly, and if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is worthwhile. Um, you'll know that I'm a beer judge as well for the CAMRA, the famous CAMRA, the Campaign for Real Ale. And I've been invited to do an actual training course. I did try to kind of say, look, I've been a trainer because I used to be a trainer professionally. It's what I used to do. Uh, I did for about 15 years, actually. Um, Not so much these days, but hopefully it comes across in my crazy videos that I'm used to talking. Obviously, I'm talking to a camera, but down the camera, it's getting to you guys. So hopefully it comes across, like I say, that I can at least talk confidently to people, such as you, dear viewer. Um, so yes, I tried to say, look, I've been training for years, and they said, no, you have to do the training course. So that is what is coming up. Not until the new year. We've got a few months to go, but it is going to be at the home of Camera, and they are actually moving. But for the last 50 years, the home of Camera has been in St Albans, just above, just outside London. It's above the M25. Lovely, lovely city. It's a Roman city originally. Well, it's probably before that. Maybe it was something else in the dark days. But yeah, Verulamium, I think it was called in Roman times. So you don't get that kind of shit on normal beer reviews. Um, but now it's obviously called St Albans. There's a cathedral. There's a very nice school. There's some really good um, pubs and stuff there. I can't remember if there's a brewery. I know there's a brewery on the other side. Mad Squirrel, I think it's called. Um, on the other side of the kind of M1, is it something like that, or M11? No, it's the M1, isn't it? I'm sure it is. I'm waxing lyrical. I'm wasting time. This video has gone completely bonkers. So sorry. I'm back to my normal streams of consciousness. You'll have to forgive me, dear viewer. Let me drink some more beer. Oh, but yes, um, I am going to do beer judging training, beer tasting training, that kind of stuff. Be a trainer. Well, hopefully not telling you what to do because your senses are yours, um, but giving people an idea of what to look out for while they're tasting their beers. And I've been doing beer reviews on YouTube for like 10 years. Obviously, I had a bit of a break in the middle, but I've more than made up for it now. Well over 1,000 videos. So yeah, you pick up a few things, you know what to look out for and that kind of stuff. But essentially, I'm going to be training people to appreciate beer. How about that? Um, I have got a theory or a plan, perhaps, in my head at the moment. So is that a theory? I don't know. About maybe doing some sort of tasting training shorts, shall we say. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but maybe you can advise me, dear viewer, and do some videos. Keeping it very simple. I'm not going to go into too many details, but I always have these good ideas for videos, and it never quite pans out because all I usually like doing is drinking. But you never know, if I get some motivation by doing my training course in beer appreciation, um, yeah, and I'm going to be doing stuff. I've already talked to a couple of pubs and stuff locally, and say, I'll do some. They're more interested in off flavor training and that kind of stuff, which I can do. I can more or less do that already, and I've been on those courses myself. But hopefully, it will. Yeah, it will get me more involved in the kind of scene. Um, more than just sitting and drinking and recording YouTube videos. But anyway, that's something for the future, dear viewer. I know this video has gone on a bit long, so I apologise, but not too hard. This has been very nice, actually. It's nothing outrageous. Workhorse Scottish Pale Ale, although Beer 52 have kind of said it's more of a Scottish golden ale. But yeah, I think it's really good. Not quite strong enough for me. I'd prefer something up sort of 5-6%. But can't have anything, can you? Can't have anything. You can't have everything. So I got something. Mm, there we go. Some lovely lacing. If we go to Foam Watch, what have we got? This looks like someone hanging out the window there, hanging on the side of the foam, as it were. And then you've got the tracks and thing. Oh, look, there's a sort of diplodocus or diplodocus, like what's that film called? Jurassic Park. Wow, and some other weird things going on. I like looking at foam. Makes me happy, dear viewer. Really does make me happy. And yeah, hopefully you'll have noticed that I've kind of picked up a little bit because I was a bit down in the dumps of late. Um, but hopefully that will all change. Anyway, this has been your loving Uncle Jonah. Have you ever noticed that uncles, especially in the wee hours, in the winter time, they go on and on and on, especially when they've been drinking. So I'm not going to apologise, but that's kind of an explanation. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll be back with another beer review that's coming up real soon.